The BRUIN study is a large phase 1-2 trial using the BTK inhibitor Pirtobrutinib. Pirtobrutinib is different to the currently approved covalent BTK inhibitors in terms of the way that it binds with BTK. It's what's called a non-covalent BTK inhibitor, and it binds in a reversible fashion. And this leads to a number of key differences, most notably the potential for efficacy in patients who are refractory to prior therapy with covalent BTK inhibitors. The BRUIN study included many different cohorts, and the one that, well, several are being reported on at this meeting, including Richter transformation and Waldenström macroglobulinemia, along with updates in CLL and mantle cell lymphoma. In particular, the Waldenström subgroup of patients has now grown to quite a large group of patients of 80, which includes a predominance, about 63 of those 80 patients previously exposed to a covalent BTK inhibitor, mostly Brutonib or zanubrutinib. And the remaining 17 or so were BTK naive prior to enrollment on the study. So the treatment of patients with BTK inhibitor refractory Waldenström macroglobulinemia is challenging. There are a few approved options, and Pirtobrutinib has in this particular abstract has shown to be a reasonably effective treatment with a overall response rate of 67% among the patients who are covalent BTK exposed, which is really important because as we see in mantle cell lymphoma and CLL, prior treatment failure with the covalent BTK inhibitor such as Brutonib does not necessarily confer resistance to Pirtobrutinib, meaning that it is a valid treatment option in this subgroup of patients. The CR plus VGPR rate was 23% among patients with prior BTK inhibitor exposure, and as you would expect, among the smaller subset of patients who had not seen BTK inhibition before, Pirtobrutinib was even more active with a higher response rate and higher CR plus VGPR rate. Much is known about the favourable safety profile of Pirtobrutinib, which of course is quite well tolerated with very few grade 3 or higher adverse events. Many of the adverse events which are characteristic of covalent BTK inhibitors such as bleeding, atrial fibrillation, diarrhea are seen with lower frequency in patients treated with Pirtobrutinib, and so it is a safe and well tolerated treatment for patients with covalent BTK inhibitor refractory B-cell malignancies, notably in this abstract Waldenström macroglobulinemia.